chug some beers and make some bad gambling picks. Welcome to ChuggieBets. Does Harry Connick Jr. exist in any month that isn't November and December? I don't really even know what a Harry Connick Jr. is. Every November, he's on my TV screen playing Little Drummer Boy. And then as soon as November 26th hits, he like evaporates. Him and Mariah Carey go back to their hole. They've been hibernating and storing their cash.
I think implying Harry Connick Jr. is ethereal just killed Sunshine. Yeah, I think he's more of a state of mind.
Yeah,
a vibe, like a ghost, like an entity, that's just a feeling.
I know is he an actor too?
He was in Independence Day, greatest American film of all time.
He was in an episode of Cheers.
Yeah, he's the goose guy in Independence Day.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, like Goose to Tom Cruise is Harry Connick Jr. to Will Smith.
Got it. I didn't realize that. Well, yeah. Maybe he's got more chops than I get.
That's like it. He's got like 2 bit roles or something like that. But he's a charming as hell. He's Bublé before Bublé.
Super, super good looking. I'll give him that. I get lost in his Baby Blues for sure. But I just don't know. I didn't know he did anything. I just always see him on my TV every Christmas. And I was hoping that you guys had some more answers. And I appreciate that. But speaking of Christmas music, what is the best and the worst of Christmas music? This comes off tonight. Cher released a new Christmas song. And it's terrible. It's the worst.
It bangs, Matt. You're wrong.
So bad. Cher is just like a one-trick pony at this place, looking like Jack Skellington, all like bedangled, like all gangly and terrifying looking, scaring the children at Christmas time. Damn it! Stay away from our kids. But it's awful. So I wanted to pose this question to you, Al. Best and worst Christmas songs.
Okay, so the worst one is a song called "A Real Old-Fashioned Christmas." It's this lady singing about having a good
sure shit is.
While they're waiting for their daddy to get home from work, and then all of a sudden it cuts in with like breaking news: the bus has crashed, and then like it goes back to singing. You're like, what the fuck was that? Was that part of the song? And then it cuts in again. It's like, update: there are no survivors. Everyone on that bus is definitely dead. And they're like, that's the bus Daddy takes every day. And then Daddy rings the doorbell, which is weird because why would you ring your own doorbell? But then he comes in and he's like, I missed the bus. Merry Christmas. Anyway, it's quite a ride. I suggest listening to it. It's so awful. It's good. So that's my bad one. Okay. I think my favorite Christmas song, though, I think it's Little Drummer Boy by Neil Diamond. It just hits me, you know? It's just that ba-rum-pum-pum-pum. I like it.
Neil Diamond's a really good Little Drummer Boy too. I believe that.
I mean, he's a real people. You either love or hate Neil Diamond, but you can take whatever Little Drummer Boy version you prefer. But that's mine.
Sunshine, what do you think about Christmas music? What's an absolute banger that you play in the house?
Christmas rapping by the Waitresses. The song slaps.
Yeah.
Slaps.
It does slap.
It's such a good rap. I can't even like say the words.
Yeah.
I thought it was Curtis Blow. I didn't know there was the Waitresses was a different version. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it all. Yeah. I love the song.
No, yeah. And then, one thing that Al forgot to mention about the terrible Christmas song is that the reason Dad missed the bus is because he was having an affair.
Likely excuse. I get it. Yeah. That's actually the best cover for an affair ever, is having the bus you normally take crash and everyone dies, but you missed it. Like, no one cares that you're late, quote unquote. They're just glad you're alive.
Yeah.
I feel like at some point your wife's going to put it together. Maybe just don't have an affair.
Yeah, I mean, you can't count on like a 9/11 every time you like go out and have an affair.
How have you guys not mentioned Mariah, by the way? How have you not mentioned Mariah for the best Christmas song? Because it is the best. I mean, all I want for Christmas is you.
We knew you were coming up.
We knew I was coming up. My favorite Christmas album is A Very Casey Christmas by Casey Musgraves. Go off board here a little bit. It's really good. Casey Musgraves.
I really thought you were going to say Casey Kasem.
She does a nice mix of originals.
I'm Casey Kasem.
Merry Christmas from Casey Kasem. That's pretty good. I feel like I nailed that. Sorry, Danny. I didn't mean to cut.
You
I
really
meant to cut
did.
you off, but I'm sorry that I did. Continue.
Dude, she has got a duet with Leon Bridges on it. It's great.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of that, do you guys like new Christmas songs or old Christmas
Combo.
songs? I love the Bing Crosby, Marlene Love,
Nat King Cole.
the classic. Nat King Cole. Oh, it slaps.
think-
Not shitting on Mariah Carey. Boyz II Men had a good Christmas album. Harry Connick Jr. is floating around here somewhere.
Buble.
I don't know. The classic. Oh,
I think there's
That Buble
like
rap.
2 tiers of classics, right? So tier 1 is like the OGs like Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby, maybe
Singing
some of these
songs
like
that you sing at church.
like lyrics free jazz versions, kind of like a saxophone bluesy, just like feels like a snowy day outside. And then there's like the other classic. The other classics are like Trans-Siberian Orchestra and Mannheim Steamroller, and those slap in a kind of way, but different vibes.
I'm going to give you one of the second series of classics that I think stinks. That song, A Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney. I hate that song. Like the snow is up, the moon is out. It's just like
I saw somebody make a joke. They were like, sorry, go ahead.
And also Happy Christmas by the John Lennon. The war is over. Look, I understand like there's deeper meaning to that song. Just not good. Just doesn't do it for me. I don't know.
Yeah. I was gonna say like this video I saw, the guy was like, every Paul McCartney Christmas song is like, we're having fun, get out the eggnog, and then every John Lennon one is like, children are dying.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
I mean, I like a
very,
mix. I like a mix. That's why I like the I mean, Kelly Clarkson's got a couple of Christmas albums that are pretty good. She mixes like some new songs in with some old stuff. One of her new songs has a real Mariah Carey type vibe to it, and I really like that one. I can't remember the name of it right now, but
Underneath the Tree.
That's it. Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's
like good. Yeah, that's like a stiff competition for Mariah Carey. Like, you know, like the day after Thanksgiving, like Black Friday, there's always someone posts the like Google Trends graph, and all of a sudden, All I Want for Christmas starts to peak up, and you're like, oh, it's here. Everyone's searching for Mariah Carey.
I also have like several I have a Christmas playlist that I've made where I have like the best version of each. So I have like there's some Frank Sinatra Christmas on it. There's some like Nat King Cole, that kind of stuff. But then I also throw like some Kenny Chesney Christmas and some George Strait Christmas. Kenny Chesney's like originals are hilarious because it's like
or like a Randy
Christmas.
Travis.
Yes, there's a Randy Travis Christmas in there. George Strait is actually a really good Christmas singer. For like he sounds almost like the old school guys, but. So I like a mix. I guess is what I like. I like a mix.
I want to give an honorable mention to I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas because that is definitely my daughter's favorite
Casey
song
Musgraves
right
covers
now.
it on her album.
Amazing.
I love
it's
it.
a great song.
I also love It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas too. I don't know why. It's just so simple. It's timeless. Perry Como's hitting all the right notes.
Yeah.
It touches me deep down.
I can't hear the name Perry Como without picturing Will Ferrell's like spinning on the thing and throwing up.
The worst Christmas song of all time is very clearly Fancy Like Christmas. It's
oh yeah,
the Applebee's song where Fancy Like Applebee's.
Oh man!
But they redid the lyrics to make it a Christmas song, and it's so bad. One of the lines I think is something. It's like it talks about the stupid leg lamp, and it's like the leg lamp got all my hose on it or something. It's so dumb.
Oh,
it's like it uses hose as a pun for women, but it's really the pantyhose. Oh, it's so bad.
So that guy literally just did the thing from Love Actually, where the guy took his hit song and just changed the.
Exactly. Speaking of Love Actually, what a great
shoehorned it in.
Mm-hmm.
I legitimately love Love Actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something shocking. I've never seen it.
It does not surprise me. Does not surprise me.
No. I'm very loving.
No, that's not why it doesn't surprise me. It's that Natalie's not much of a movie person, right?
I know. We've had this conversation. We're gonna watch.
My heart said yes.
I've already watched all the Home Alones that matter, 1 and 2. Watched Elf. I've watched Christmas Vacation. Just the best. That movie.
We showed the girls Home Alone, and they just did not get it at all. Like at all. They only liked the parts where he was like throw in the dance party in his house with when nobody was home. Like criminals that
ice cream.
just did not. They weren't even paying attention by then.
Yeah,
It's such a good
It's
movie.
so good.
It's such a I'm in. I mean, I think Kevin McAllister is a bit of a psychopath. I think the internet has figured this out too. Like he interrupts his dinner to go throw paint cans at people, right? And he's like, "Oh, it's time for death." But there's probably a simpler way to handle that. But he handled it himself like a man. He
he's
doesn't
a
get
real
spit
one.
on.
He said, "I don't need to call the police. Police ain't gonna help me on this one."
No, hell no.
He said, "Police only complicate.
But
Police are here to protect property, not people." Kevin McAllister.
So he was woke.
hardcore. Yeah, he invented the woke
that
cop.
neighborhood. I think I think the police are there to protect the people.
Yeah.
No, I love this meme. He's like, how did Kevin McAllister's dad, was he able to buy 9 first-class tickets to Paris? And then they show him The Sopranos, and it's like, oh, that's how. He had that mob money. I just thought that was
there's like a horror movie. It might be Christmas based, with Kevin McAllister's dad in it, and he's like an alcoholic, and the guy's like, if you drink this fifth, I'll give you $1 million. And he's like, I won't do it. He's like, 2 million. He's like, ah. So like that's Kevin McAllister's dad. Anyway, if I knew the name of that movie, it'd be irrelevant.
If I knew the name of Kevin McAllister's dad, it'd be more relevant.
Yeah, it's sort of like a really shitty knockoff of Saw.
Christmas music kicks ass.
It does.
I think is the larger point.
Nobody mentioned the best song, actually. I know that I mentioned a couple ones that are my favorite, but Last Christmas.
Last Christmas is such a honestly, dude, that's a song for all seasons. I understand it's Christmas theme, but George Michael absolutely destroys that song. He is so good that Once Bitten, Twice Shy. Oh, it hits my heartstrings every time he plays it. You can play that shit all year round.
I mean, Taylor made it just as good.
Gets you.
I have to listen to it. I always listen to the classics. The classics 1 and classics 2, as Al described. So I've never listened to Taylor's version, but I listened
to both of them. I listened to Taylor's first, and then I was like, I know this isn't Taylor's song, and I looked up who it was again. I was like, oh yeah, Wham! By the way, I've been having my girls wake up to Jitterbug in the morning now. It's great. But yeah, and then I listened to Wham's version. I'm like, these are both great, but they're great like in their own way. Taylor's, she like put her own thing on it, but it's still like such a good song that it's.
I will sing with my whole chest along to Father Figure by George Michael, and that is definitely a song about 2 guys fucking.
It is.
And like one of them's probably underage. It's like it's probably should not even be allowed on radio anymore, but it's so good.
He's so good.
Why do you mention? Don't say the underage thing. I don't think that's actually an accusation of anybody on him.
You know,
Father Figure? No, I'm not saying about him. I'm just saying like the song is called Father Figure. It is.
You can be my father figure.
Put your tiny hand in mine. Come on. I will be your father figure. Put your tiny hand in mine. Danny, it's about having.
It's about right. Travis
Merry
Kelce,
Christmas.
Taylor Swift, and Travis Kelce and Coach Prime and Arch Manning. Is it not? All the algorithm growers.
Yes. I actually was going to say, do you think Travis Kelce makes Taylor Swift sing to him in bed, or are they just like normal?
Probably
people?
Normal. I would guess they don't do that.
You think she makes him run button hooks in the front yard? Hey, babe, I really want to see this yard out.
In the bedroom. Lay out for it.
Well, there's Al. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to mention one last one. Whitney Houston has a banger of a Christmas collection as well that I like to add into my playlist. But
all right, well, welcome to Chuggy Bets. That's Danny. That's Sunshine. That's Matt. I'm Al. This NFL episode. Let's crack a beer. Cheers, boys.
America's oldest.
All right. Recapping last week's NFL slate. Okay, we'll start with who's at the bottom here. Matt went 3-5, but he won his Chuggy Bet, so props there.
Bad.
Sunshine went 2-4. Danny went 2-4. Sunshine went 3-1. And then Andy went 3-2, and I went 7-4. Won my Chuggy Bet. So collectively, still really good. I don't have the total number here, but we're like several games over 500. So you should still. We tell you this every week. You should still be doing it. Follow our picks. We are killing it. I wanted to talk about a few games from last week. I know. Did any of you guys stay up for Buffalo, Philadelphia?
Yeah, I did.
It was so the Eagles managed to hit a 57-yard field goal in driving rain to force overtime, and then the Bills got the ball first in overtime. By the way, I was super exposed on Bills. I had Bills at +3 and Bills at +2.5. And then, so I was hoping they'd get the ball first in overtime and then go down and win the game. And I was like, at least if they get a field goal, I'll push on the +3, worst case scenario. And that's what they do. They miss a wide open Gabe Davis for the touchdown, settle for a field goal, and then Philly, Jalen Hurts does his thing. They go down and they get the touchdown to win the game by 3. So end up slightly up on the game, but it was. I don't know how the Eagles are going to get beat, man. That's a really tough team to beat. And it might happen this week, but
yeah, this week seems like a good week to bet against the Eagles. Yeah, Jason Kelsey, come on, man. Got to keep that ass down. You made a 49-yard field goal, a 59-yard field goal. You can't get called for false start twice.
You guys aren't going to talk about the most interesting thing that happened in that game, which was on the spike play. The guy dove through his legs to try and catch the ball.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Oh, I did see that after the fact. I totally missed it when it happened. But yeah, that was what Jordan Davis.
Yeah, he dove between. He dove.
They asked him about it, and he was like, they asked him about it, and he was like, yeah, I saw in a clip from a high school game where a dude dove through the center's legs and intercepted a spike. And he's like, and it worked. So I was like, I'm gonna try it.
I almost caught it, man.
But I guess
if it wasn't a full on, if it wasn't a full on spike, he would have caught it. But
also, if he wasn't 6'5" and 400 pounds, it'd probably be a little bit easier for him to get between.
He got between the legs, no problem, man. His arms were under the ball; it hit his hands.
Maybe you need to sneak a safety behind Jordan Davis and get a full running sprint. So he just kind of uses that thing where you remember when your kids run between your legs, and he just slides between both of them in order to get there quicker.
Yeah, Troy Polamalu could have done it.
That play would have changed all of football forever if it worked.
It really would have.
The new tush push. Instead, you're intercepting spikes. That would have been that would have been the downfall of the NFL.
It definitely had Greg Schiano vibes.
I just love the idea of them practicing this play now, and it's it's they'll get out a slip inside and just practice for when it's raining.
Yeah, I want you to be able to sacrifice one man to bring on a slip and slide.
Listen, when you talk about when you talk about surviving a modern day NFL practice, I'm pretty sure I could survive it if it entailed just slipping on a slip and slide the whole time.
Have you done it recently, buddy? You get really
yeah, no, you get real sore, but I could survive that day. I wouldn't show up to practice.
And if you don't do the lawn right and there's rocks, boy, you're in trouble. That's bloody elbows. Bloody buttholes.
There was another game with an exciting finish. Well, a couple actually, but one was Jacksonville-Houston, where the Jags had a field goal lead. And so all my Jags buddies, it was probably the second quarter, and they were like, as long as this game doesn't end with the ball in CJ Stroud's hands with under 2 minutes to play. And lo and behold, the Jags have a 3-point lead with 2 minutes to go. CJ Stroud gets the ball, and he did his job. He got them down in the field goal range. But their backup field goal kicker, I think it was a 58-yarder. When he kicked that thing, it looked nonchalant as hell. Dude looked like he was just chipping 9 irons. And I was like, oh, damn, he blasted that thing, but it didn't look like he tried very hard. And then all of a sudden,
it looked like it was going to go through no problem
right off the crossbar. Yeah.
Which, so I had the Texans teased up to 7.5, I think. So that game ended perfectly 7.5. That game ended perfectly.
Yeah. It would have ended perfectly no matter what when that. Well, I said aside from a block field goal returned, but
No, because Jacksonville, like if Jacksonville goes down and I don't know if something happens there
yeah,
and Jacksonville
there's
can't
always
just knee
some
it out.
chaos scenario.
I was so worried Jacksonville was going to score on the drive before and go up 10, and then I wasn't going to get anything.
In the battle,
That was the
go ahead.
that was the only game worth watching at that 1 p.m. window. That 1 p.m. window, I don't ever want to watch that Giants Patriots.
I was going to say,
window.
yeah, those are the two worst teams in the league, right? Like,
Oh, it was
like
awful.
Carolina's
It was
bad.
awful.
Carolina's only won one
They're
game.
they're probably in the mix with those two, but those are probably the three worst teams, right? In whatever order you want to pick.
Would Carolina be equally as bad if CJ Stroud played for them?
I would like to think the answer is close to yes or mostly yes, but I don't know. I really think where you end up in the staff you're paired with has a lot more to do with your success at the NFL level than your actual talent does. But
their defense isn't terrible. They have Adam Thielen on offense. They have decent running backs.
yeah,
Their offensive line doesn't seem to be very good, but that just could be Bryce Young holding the ball forever.
So, since we're talking about Christmas songs, the Panthers are essentially the NFL team that is the equivalent of an AI-generated Christmas song. Like it can have all the parts. It can be about Christmas. It can be about family and presents and snow, but it's missing the heart and soul. You're like, this isn't a good song.
Yeah, that's why if you put in CJ Stroud, it would probably have the heart and soul then.
Yeah, maybe. I think it would help. There's one other thing I want to talk about. The Bears-Vikings Monday night game. I think I saw it was 1939 or 1960 something was the last time a team won a game without scoring a touchdown. That can't be right. Anyway, the Bears won 12-10. They only kicked 4 field goals.
That's definitely not right. The Dolphins did that during the Wannstedt years for sure.
Oh, Dave. But
Alindo Mari definitely won a game 15-10 for us.
That was a pretty ugly game. I don't know if you guys watched that game, but there were so many stupid turnovers. I felt bad for Josh Dobbs. He threw at least 3 interceptions that went off of people's hands, like off a receiver's hands. Threw a pass that should have been a pick 6, and then Justin Fields was just like fumbling the ball left and right. It was comical, the turnovers at the end of that one, but yeah, that was not a pretty game. So I wonder, do you guys think did the Bears continue the Justin Fields experiment with, like, obviously throughout the season, but do you think there's a possibility with the likely number 1 or 2 pick from the Carolina Panthers they go with like a Caleb Williams?
There's absolutely no way they don't take a quarterback with one of those picks.
Oh, okay. You think Justin Fields is done in Chicago?
No, I think that Justin Fields will still be there. I think that there will be a quarterback competition that he will lose.
I do too. I
also think maybe it's time to go slot receiver / weapon, because the dude can definitely run the ball.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a chance they trade the number 1 pick?
Yes. I think there's a chance they trade one of those if they get an offer that's worth it. But
it's going to depend on who wants to move up to that spot to get whoever QB1 ends up being. Like, probably
they already have the Panthers' number 1 pick. They're the idiots that make that trade.
Trade it back to the Panthers for like 9 first-round picks.
It's not like the NBA. You can't trade five years in the future.
You can.
I hate that.
No, there's a limit. You can only go 2 years out, I think.
Okay.
By the way, guys, we were talking. I just had ChatGPT write me a song about the NFL and Christmas. Next week on ChuggieBets, we will debut "Where the Spirit Never Dies." It's called.
Ooh.
Sorry, I just got very excited.
That is great.
I think they can. There's 2 quarterbacks, right? You got Drake May, and you have what's his name? Caleb Williams. If Carson Beck has a really good performance these next couple of weeks, which I don't doubt he will, I think you're going to see him probably climb that board also.
Isn't he a freshman?
No, I think he's a junior. I think he's 30.
Yeah, he was.
Penix isn't like the best prospect, right? That's why you're not mentioning him.
Yeah, I think Penix has a lot of arm talent. I just think that there's certain guys they like better.
Yeah.
Here's a quarterback scenario I want to throw out there. When it comes to Caleb Williams, I've seen some things online where he talks about teams he wants to play for. Do you think this guy might pull an Eli Manning?
Yes.
According to his
I do.
dad, but I don't know if Caleb Williams has actually said anything along those lines. But I think
Well,
his
Eli
dad's
never
been
said
in the
anything
media
either.
saying a bunch about where Caleb's going to pick where he wants to go, and Caleb wants part of ownership of the team he signs with, and all this stuff. So who knows?
Yeah.
It'd be nice to be in that position, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm really Caleb Williams' year this year has really like soured me to him. Not saying he won't be a great quarterback, but and it's not really his fault. That USC team is dog shit on defense and dog shit in a lot of ways. I think you're going to see trouble in paradise for the head coach. That's his name.
Lincoln Riley.
But Lincoln Riley. Thank you.
I think you're going to see two different kinds of teams. Half are going to be like firmly out on Caleb Williams, and half are going to be like super enamored in his athleticism and playmaking ability. Basically, I don't know, it seems to be how it goes with a lot of sort of polarizing quarterback prospects.
So college success is not necessarily indicative of pro success as far as team goes, but usually if you play well in college, that will translate if you have like all of the tools. So it's the two things: you want the tools and the play. And it doesn't really matter the level, right? Because you can have all the tools and play really well at a lower level and still translate to the NFL. So I don't know. We'll see. Caleb Williams seems to have all the tools and has played pretty well.
Yeah, no, he's really good. I'm not saying that's why I can't describe why it's soured on me. I think he's going to be great. I think Drake May is going to be good too, and I think Carson Beck will be really good as well. The Bo Nix, Michael Penix class, I'll be curious to see how that translates.
Yeah,
I expect Bo Nix to be picked pretty high.
Yeah, Bo
I do
Nix
too.
Out, right? He's in the mix here too, right?
Bo Nix can't play any more college years.
Yeah. He's been in college for like a decade.
Michael Penix has been in college forever.
Yeah.
He was at Indiana before COVID.
Yeah, I think he played 3 years at Indiana.
Yeah, he got hurt, and that's where the head coach that just got fired, Allen, got a big raise on Michael Penix's back, and then Michael Penix deuced out to Seattle.
Yeah, that buyout that the Indiana's paying right now, Michael Penix should be getting a piece of that.
Honest to God, he should be getting all of it.
So I know we're talking NFL, and obviously we're talking like draft prospects here, but did you see Matt Rule's comment about NIL deals? He was saying that any good quarterback is going to be $1.5 $2 million, and he said that there are some guys. He said there are some guys making $6 to $7 million on NIL deals, and I was like, damn, that's a lot of money.
Cam Ward from Washington State came from Eastern Washington and went to Washington State. He has graduated. He has not announced himself in the portal, not yet, but he has over 10. He has more than 10 over $1 million offers from Miami, from Notre Dame, from a variety of schools around the country. Yes, these guys are getting paid right now. And we can do this in the next college one. The quarterbacks that are in there are awesome. Grayson McCall, Will Howard. It's going to be fun. It's going to be crazy.
How much does a quarterback make on their rookie deal in the NFL?
Well, so here's the thing. If you're not going to get drafted in the first 3 rounds.
It's the same as any other rookie.
It sounds like if you're not going to get drafted in the first round or in the top 10, then you should stay in college.
Go for as many. I think
that's
so.
Second and third round contracts are still pretty good. I think second round contracts slot in like the 5 to 10 mil range, right? And then it's like 3 or 4 years that you have to sign for. It depends on whether you sign. I think you get an option between a 3 and a 5 year deal or something. But yeah, so they're still pretty high. But the third rounds, you're down in like the 5 million for the three years, and then after that, I mean, when you're in like the 6th or 7th round, you're just getting the minimum, and it's like better to not be drafted because you can get more than you would if you were drafted.
So let's say this thing I just quickly Googled says like first rounders are making like 12 million plus, 12 to like 40 something million. So that's
not per year.
Second rounders is about
That's not per year. 12 to 40 is your whole contract, but still.
Yeah. Okay, so the 12 million for your whole contract, you're making less money there than you are.
So a
in
late
college.
first round pick, if you're getting $2.5 million in college, you're making more because I think they're 5-year deals for first rounders.
I think there are four in the team option on the 5th year, so essentially 5 years. Yeah. So you need to be making. Yeah, shit. If you're not a top 10 pick, you should stay in college.
Pretty much. I
Yeah,
think that's why a
it's
lot of the guys are doing
incentivized.
it.
Hell yeah, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to make for really good minor league football. It's truly become.
Well, I guess my thought was like, when does the NFL decide to just bump the pay scale? I guess they don't want to do that.
No, it was a
owners-
huge deal to slot the pay
Yeah.
scale for rookies so that there was more money for veterans.
But I think maybe to offset, to be able to attract talent, but maybe they don't care.
The
Especially
NFL,
guys stay in
the
college.
NFL Players Union does not give a shit if guys stay in college to get more money from colleges. They just want more money for everybody.
I want more money.
Yeah. All right. Well, there we go. We figured it out.
Can I interrupt one thing?
Yes.
So I know that the Jets and Dolphins played on Black Friday. The game was hilarious. It was that last 2 minutes of that game was chef's kiss hilarious.
I mean, was it as funny as the last minute of the first half?
Oh, I'm sorry. The first half. That's what I meant of that game. Sorry. Of the first half. Tua throws 2 picks. One of them mattered. One of them didn't matter. And then the Hail Mary or whatever they're calling it, the 99-yard interception return on a Hail Mary. Hilarious.
Javon Holland,
right? It was like some real bad football, which proves the point that you do not need NFL football on Black Friday. I know that's a hot take. Everyone here is for the NFL, right? Wait till next week. You can have NFL football every day of the week, but Friday's for college football. If you want to watch bad football, watch it with the rivalries when Oregon plays Oregon State or Arizona plays Arizona State. Don't.
Or Iowa plays Nebraska.
Oh, that game was hilarious. Yeah. I couldn't believe the under America needed. It was like a gift from Santa. It's like Santa came early and delivered us a little treat in our stockings. And it was a 13-10 Iowa-Nebraska game where they should have scored 50 points. It was hilarious. I enjoyed it.
Honestly, I didn't even really watch much of the Dolphins game when it happened because I was, I think, golfing for the first half. But Black Friday is for other things. It's college football. It's other things. NFL, I love the NFL. I love spending entire Sundays watching the NFL. I love spending entire Saturdays watching college. Thursdays were like nearly a step too far. I'm only watching if the game's good or if I bet money on it or I turn it on late and the under's still in play. Other than that, I'm not really watching a lot of the Thursday games. Monday Night Football, I watch most of those. Sunday Night Football, I watch all of those. So it just doesn't. You don't need another night of my week. NFL, you're not getting it.
I liked the Black Friday football game.
Did you?
Yeah, I mean, I liked the fact that it was going on. I think had it maybe not been y'all's team, y'all probably wouldn't even be having this conversation. But I mean, I liked it, and I think as long as Amazon is gonna play football games, that's here to stay because they're never going to let Amazon have the Thanksgiving Day.
I think Amazon. Well, I think also it's important to see for Amazon from Amazon's perspective how the advertising helped sales on Black Friday, because I think that was the thing they were trying. That was like part of the reason they wanted a Black Friday game was to push Black Friday shopping on Amazon.
Oh,
I think you're missing what Amazon's actually trying to do here, which is. I mean, this is my theory, but Amazon is just testing the waters here to get an exclusive NFL deal for everything, and they will just buy literally the entire NFL for the season.
Amazon was just trying to get traffic to AWS servers to overload their own traffic so that all the other storefronts that run on AWS servers could not run their store, so that they prioritize all their server space. Because they own like 70% of the servers. That's my tinfoil conspiracy.
That's another one.
Here.
That's another one.
Maybe they throttle service to everyone else, but
everyone's Shopify sites that run on AWS.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I mean, like Amazon, and is it Google that runs all the other? It's like the other 30%.
Yeah, but AWS like as the lion's
Yeah.
share.
I just thought that, and I figured that it was because the Thanksgiving Day games, like that Amazon was like, hey, we get Thursday games. How about you give us a Friday game? I didn't go all into conspiracy
Black
about
hat or foil hat.
it. Yeah, tinfoil.
Or both.
No, I wasn't doing that either. I was just saying that my larger point is that Friday's for rivalry for college. Like you want to have Thanksgiving Tuesday? Hell yeah! I'd love watching football on a Thursday.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, like, what was it on? Like, I didn't. There were other games going on at that time. I'm trying to
The
think.
Egg Bowl, I think, was on.
No, the Egg Bowl.
Iowa was.
Oh no, Egg Bowl was Thursday. You're right. I think Iowa overlapped. That game overlapped with the start of the Dolphins game.
Oh man,
Iowa, Nebraska.
are you guys talking about that 22-point banger or whatever it was?
23.
Under hit,
23.
baby. Under hit, baby. Under 26. It never was in doubt. Except
All right.
it was.
So great
Make some
point,
picks.
Matt. Black Friday football should remain a college football day. I'm with you. Yeah, NFL has enough with Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, right? Let's get into some picks this week. What do you guys think?
Let's
There's
do it.
probably time to do that. Yeah.
All right. We got a game tomorrow night, or if you're listening to this tonight, Thursday, Seattle Seahawks at Dallas Cowboys. I will go out on a limb and say, Danny and Matt, you guys have a play on the total here.
Yeah, we're going to go under.
Under, what is it, 47.5?
Yeah.
Under 47.5. Yeah, I think I saw. Well, I think a couple weeks ago I counted on Thursday nights. I think the totals were like 8-8 or something like that. So they're probably skewed, a couple games one way or the other. But I think overall primetime games are like 29-9 this year, which means
Yeah, I know.
Sunday night and Monday night are the
night
games
under,
to be
yeah.
playing the under on, not Thursday nights. But I
Not
feel
eating alive on the unders on Thanksgiving.
yeah, you got skunked on those.
That was dog shit. We got robbed.
Yeah, well, you
Actually,
actually,
we just
did get robbed on the 49ers game. That one was close. Should have had it.
I would personally, I would bet the over here if I had more confidence in Seattle to score.
Well, let me boost your confidence a little bit because I'm taking Seahawks +9 here. I think the Seahawks are a better team than they've shown recently. I don't know if they are just have kinks to iron out or what, but I think they have offensive firepower to compete. I think this will be a good week to test that out. This is essentially a playoff game or a dress rehearsal for a playoff game. So Seahawks +9 is my play here.
Yeah, my fantasy team disagrees with you that they have firepower.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a weird spot for Dallas, right? Everyone's been criticizing Dallas and Miami about not being able to put the good teams away, and I think Seattle may be one of those fringe good teams. So let's see how they play, right? This is an odd spot.
They scored 13 against San Francisco, 16 against LA, 29 against Washington, 3 against Baltimore, and 24 against Cleveland. So
Yeah. Baltimore is like really, really good. just gonna say that. All right, let's get into the 1:00 slate on Sunday. Not a great slate here, much like last Sunday, but we're gonna kick it off with Colts at Titans. Matt, what do you got?
mow your lawn at 1:00 on Sunday.
Yeah, mow your lawn at 1. Yeah.
Colts. Let's make it simple. Colts lay the 1. You're probably getting them on money line for -115, -120. I would do that. I think Colts are the better team. The Titans are very close to packing this thing up. I know they're far better at home. If this was in Indianapolis, I would be throwing my money at it. But I do think the Colts have been playing better. They are actually a playoff team if the season ended today. And I think this is a team that they can play tough against and get a win. If they want to actually make a playoff, this is the kind of games they have to win.
So I don't hate that play. I think the reason I sort of hate it is Derrick Henry had himself a game last week, and I think they might have reminded themselves, oh yeah, we have an absolute monster in the backfield. We should use him. So I think Andy is on the right track here. He's teasing Tennessee from +2, which he got earlier in the week. It looks like up to +8. I myself am taking the over. I'm rooting for a fun one in this one, over 42.5.
Indianapolis has been scoring points, so that's not bad. I know Tennessee has a very stout defense, but until Will Levis shows it week in and week out, I don't know.
Yeah.
Godspeed, brother.
Nobody wants to lay the 5 or so with the Chargers at New England.
I feel like at some point the Chargers will be down 8 in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes to go. Like, it's just still happening all the time.
Even against the Patriots, right?
It's the ghost of Phillip Rivers. He also got the franchise pregnant as well. He's hanging around.
Herbert's gonna show up like with 9 kids too.
Do you think could Phillip Rivers field an entire league of quarterbacks with his spawn?
Depends on how good his wife's arm is, because they're always the same woman.
True.
Yeah.
All right, so no plays in that one. Let's see. I think Sunshine and Danny are on the same play here in Detroit. Lions taking on the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. What are you guys on?
Saints got quarterback issues. The Lions.
The quarterback is Jameis. That's the issue, huh?
No, Derek Carr's back.
Okay, right,
He's
right.
back.
It's Carr and Taysom Hill.
Yeah, it's still an issue. But Detroit's coming off a kind of a tough loss against Green Bay. I think that they're going to show up here and take care of business. New Orleans.
This is Dan Campbell returned to New Orleans. That's where he came from when he took the job in Detroit.
I will say that I was very surprised by Detroit's loss to Green Bay. I really did not see that coming, because the Lions are the real deal.
They didn't even cover the teaser.
Yeah.
So this is something I wish I would have seen before the game started, but I didn't see it until after. But the Lions are 0-12 on Thanksgiving when the moon is in a waxing gibbous.
I saw that. It's so unreal. Like,
yeah, I don't know what that is.
Stats.
Note to self: next Thanksgiving, keep your eyes on that moon. See if it's in a waxing gibbous.
No, you got to ask the girl with the crystals that's dating Aaron Rodgers. She'll always give you the betting insight on the moons and what house Mercury.
What the tides are. Oh. Yeah. Okay. So you guys are taking Lions -4. I feel that makes me feel better. I think
I like that bet too. I just too chicken shit to pull on it.
It feels like a get right spot for the Lions. Sunshine, your Atlanta Falcons are going to the Meadowlands to take on the New York Jets in another 1:00 battle here. I am going to lead the way here. I am apologizing in advance. I am taking the Jets +3. I actually like them to win this game outright. I don't know who's going to be behind center for them, but I do know that defense is going to cause trouble for Atlanta.
Yeah. So here I'm taking the over. I can't say that Atlanta's going to go win. Generally, when the temperature drops, I don't like taking the over, but I just feel like, like somebody's going to score 21 points and somebody's going to score, 14. Yeah, at least.
If that's the closing score, I would actually think the Falcons get the 21 and the Jets get the 14. But I feel like this game's really going to be more like 10-7. And it's nothing against the Falcons. I know that they've been putting up 20 points every week, even in losses, because their defense is really more of an issue than their offense, even though quarterbacking has been bad because they can actually run the ball. But the Jets defense, even though they seem to have checked out last week, they are still very good. And if they're playing a team that they think that they can shut out, they might actually try and do it to win a game.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take like a Breece Hall rushing yards over, and like who's in the Falcons backfield, Bijan and Algier. Maybe take like a Bijan receiving yards over.
No, go with the Algier rushing over, because Bijan will fumble early. Like the Jets will cause a fumble and he won't be able to play the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you guys don't watch much Falcons football.
Am I saying the wrong things?
Because I mean, I'm just saying, like, he didn't fumble last game.
Yeah, but like he's fumbled earlier in the season a couple of times, and then they don't let him play anymore.
They learned their
definitely
lesson.
lost Bijan props because of that.
So it happened once, and now you're holding a grudge.
We're like twice. But
Matt,
if it happened on 2 times, I bet it.
Yeah.
But the Falcons' defense is actually pretty solid. They got a good amount of takeaways this season.
Yeah, they're not bad. They're not bad. And I will say this: Atlanta's offense does look better over the past couple of weeks. Even with Ritter, I know I was hard on Desmond Ritter, but he hasn't looked as bad.
Bryce Young did put up 28 points on.
Are they still playing Ritter?
We're not going to really praise this defense when Tennessee put up.
Last game they played Ritter. Ritter threw a no-look pass to Bijan that was
awesome. It was so beautiful.
That was sick. Yeah. So maybe he's getting it. But I'm going to tease the Jets up to 8.5 here. Don't really understand the line. I'm kind of with Al. So plus 8.5 gets me that coverage.
Yeah, that feels like
I feel like the line should be switched. Like if the Jets were favored in this one, I would take the Falcons plus the points. But I'm not gonna touch the other bet.
Nah,
yeah, not laying a field goal with the Falcons on the road. Yeah, I think
I was honestly I was on the Jets at +3 when right before the podcast started. I was talking to Al about it, but I actually decided to cancel this after I looked at the last 5 scores of the Jets and Falcons games because the Jets can't score 15 points, period. The only game they won was the Giants 13-10, and they just keep losing by pretty big margins. I mean, Buffalo put up a bunch, the Chargers put up a bunch, and Miami put up a bunch on them. And the Falcons, on the other hand, have been scoring over 20 every single game. So they just keep losing because the defense has been giving up too many points.
Yeah, Andy's also teasing this up to 8.5. So I feel like that's a good play. Any other thoughts on Falcons Jets here? Or are you guys ready to move?
Let's keep it rolling to a real barn burner.
Oh yeah, the Kyler Murray-led Arizona Cardinals going into the Steel City Pittsburgh Steelers at what used to be Heinz Field and is now some bullshit.
Accuracy.
There you go.
Accuracy. There you go.
We are getting awfully close to a I don't even know what we call them anymore. What do we call them? Windmill? Cyclone. Close to a cyclone here. Both Danny and Matt, and then also myself, are all on Arizona plus 5.5. Danny, why don't you give us your thoughts on why you added this one?
I was looking at some of the sharp bets and the expert picks and stuff like that, and everybody was kind of on the Falcons. And then right before when you said this, you reminded me that Kyler Murray's playing, and Kyler Murray versus Kenny Pickett. I'm gonna go ahead and bet on Kyler Murray in that matchup. He's gonna run in a couple of touchdowns.
So a couple of thoughts I had. One, everyone thought the Steelers' offensive issues were due to Matt Canada. They canned Canada, and the Steelers went out blazing, threw up in a total of 16 points last week against the Bengals, who don't have a particularly good defense. I will say I think the Steelers had their highest yardage total of the season, but obviously still some kinks to work out for them as far as getting into the end zone, actually scoring points. Arizona has a decent enough defense, I think, could give them some fits. And then Kyler Murray being a mobile quarterback, I think good defenses tend to struggle with mobile quarterbacks. It's like a whole different ball game. So those are the reasons I like Arizona. Andy is also, and actually Sunshine is on the under as well. Andy got it at 40 because he's dumb and took it early. Sunshine got it now at under 41.5. So do you have any particular thoughts on why you want the under?
Yeah, it just reviewing the scores, it seems like it's an under for me.
Two teams that are bad at doing
41.5. Yeah, 2 teams that are bad at scoring. Give me 41.5. I'll take the under.
Yeah. Cool. Sunshine, why don't you lead us on the next one here? Looks like you're on Tampa Bay. Panthers at Bucks. You're laying 5 with the Bucks, right?
Yeah. So it's they're in Tampa at home. It's decent weather for football. I think that I see that Danny bet the under here. I'm a little shocked by that. I think they're a better team than the Carolina Panthers, and I feel bad for Carolina. I think they beat them by more than 5.
Yeah.
So the Panthers never score more than 15 points, and the Buccaneers never score more than 20. What was the over-under here?
37.
37.
It seems like I did the right thing.
I'll tell you one more thing is I'm pretty sure there's a lot of rain forecasted, at least in our area here. I don't know if it's going down all the way to Tampa, but there's going to be a lot of rain coming through our area for like 3 days, including Sunday. So
If it's raining,
could
definitely
be
go under.
could be a wet one.
Yeah.
So maybe check the weather report before you bet that one. But I do like both of those plays really. I don't, unless the Bucks are going to put up like crazy points. The Panthers aren't going to do it.
I mean, the Bucks put up a bunch of points in that Houston game where like both teams scored a bunch in the fourth quarter. But other than that, they haven't really had a blazing offense.
Yeah. The Bucks could score once and cover. Like legitimately. Like this game could be 7-0.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. You guys aren't going to like this next pick. It's the last one of the 1 o'clock slate. And also, we can all agree none of these games are good in the 1 o'clock window, right? Like Lions Saints is probably the best one, and that's not particularly appealing to most. But this last one is Dolphins at Commanders, and unfortunately, I'm taking the Commanders plus 9.5. I don't think they're going to win this one, but I do think they're going to figure things out offensively a little bit, keep it interesting. They have those games where they can randomly put up, close to 30 points. I think you might see something like that this week.
They do have those games. I think that you're wrong because I think Tua stops throwing interceptions this week.
Yeah.
This game feels like, I know it's a really high number, but it feels like it could go over. Sam Howell's been putting up points in weird fashions, not the most efficient fashions. He's been getting sacked a lot. But
Dolphins defense has been real good since Jalen Ramsey came back, but we're playing without Jalen Phillips now, so who knows?
What's the over-under? 49.5.
49?
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you hear we signed not Von Miller, the guy from the Giants with
Jason
Pierre-Paul,
yeah.
JPP. I mean, he can probably still rush the passer, right?
I heard he's got some explosive moves.
That's a Stu Gotts joke right there. I love it.
Hope it doesn't blow up in his face. Sorry. Too easy. All right.
Guys, I think it's important to know that Raymond James Stadium Sunday at 1 p.m., we're looking at 78 degrees, 11 miles an hour wind, and then the rain will start at 7 p.m. So we should be good there.
Okay.
Tampa Bay. I wanted you guys to have
never get their time changes. So.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to help you out here. We were asking about weather.
I appreciate it. 4 o'clock window, we've got 3 intriguing matchups. And yes, I am calling the Denver Broncos at Houston Texans an intriguing matchup.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a great game.
Yeah,
it might honestly, no, it's probably
it's not the best game on window, but it's
all right. It's
definitely we're gonna have either a quad box or a red zone on.
Yeah. This is one of the lone 4 o'clock windows where red zone is actually going to be really fun to watch. Normally a 4 o'clock window for red zone, they're like stuck on one game that sucks and no one cares about the other games that are happening. But this could be a dynamic one. Broncos, Texans, Andy. Actually, Sunshine, why don't you tell me what you're on here?
Oh, I'm taking Denver. I'm taking points to Denver. 3.5 points. I think it's a no-brainer because Denver is hot right now. Russell Wilson is
so hot right now.
Something out. So hot right now. I mean, they're like for such a terrible beginning to the season, they've won their last 5 games. This isn't like college where you're playing, you can play a random University of South Alabama. This is NFL where everybody but the Giants and the Patriots elite, or supposed to be.
Yeah.
So I think that they are with the points. I thought it was a no-brainer. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
Andy's with you here. He's taking Denver plus 3.5 as well. I think that hook is pretty important. But I do think you mentioning Denver being on a 5-game win streak is almost a bad thing because it's really hard to win a lot of games in a row in this league. So I don't know if this is the week they get tripped up, but I would expect them to lose one soon.
I was the one who watches a blackjack or a roulette table that has a bunch of blacks in a row and then goes and bets red because he thinks the odds are better.
Yeah, I am. That's probably right. I like to overthink things. But I'm taking the over here because I think we are going to see some points. It's at 47.5.
This game seems.
So taking over 47.5.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
This game seems like a perfect example of we play Are They Good next week, and whoever wins will just play Are They Good, because I don't know about Denver or Houston. They both seem good, but are they good? I don't know.
So
Denver started so bad, but I think they turned it around. Houston has the best quarterback in the world, probably.
So Al, after you said that, I just looked. I see that the Eagles are 10-1. So I pull up, their record. They won 5, lost 1. 1-5.
That makes a really good point. Let's actually take that game on next. San Francisco at
Hold on,
Eagles.
this last game was actually in the 1 p.m. window. I think it got moved since Andy put the schedule up, according to the schedule I'm looking at.
Denver, Houston?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's only 2 4:00 games? Damn.
Oh, well, disregard everything we said about.
They moved Tampa Bay to 4:00.
Oh,
so let me update my weather report.
It's going to be a rain.
Oh,
It's getting rain at the end of the game.
Shit. That's fun. All right. Well, thank you, Danny, for actually checking.
You guys, this literally happened right now.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's why you listen
While
to
you're
ChuggieBets.
live,
Weather
I
updates.
just switched it.
Because they change it exactly when you're listening, whenever you're listening.
It's unbelievable. How did you guys know?
It's like the NFL only wants people to focus on the Eagles 49ers games. Because now you got the Panthers and Bucks, that's fine. And then you got the Browns and Rams, which is fine.
Yeah.
Right? That's
True.
like a battle of fine. And then you have 49ers Eagles.
I mean, if you don't want to be so pessimistic about it, you could say they needed to put a good game in the 1:00 window, so they chose Denver, Houston.
It's true. That's good. That's a good point. That will be a good game.
All right, so let's do San Francisco at Philly. What are your guys' thoughts here? It looks like Andy's taking the Eagles +3 and the over 46.5. I think I like that over. I don't know if I like the Eagles though. I really think San Francisco's probably the best team in the NFC. Although the Eagles look so good, God, I don't know.
I'm going a different way about this. I do think the Eagles' defense is pretty good. But when competent to above competent offenses go to Philadelphia, they have a tendency to score a lot of points. Buffalo last week. The Dolphins aside, and I think they only scored 21. You see teams that run these elaborate, shifty offenses, and they end up scoring. I'm going to take San Francisco team total over. I think it's at 24.5 or 25. I'm fine with either of those numbers. I do think San Francisco gets to 28 here. So I'm going to go an exotic way about this and take San Francisco's team total over.
Yeah. Okay. That seems like a bad number to land on, like 24.5.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I think it's going to be more than that. I think this game has the idea that it can go over, but I think San Francisco will definitely go over.
Yeah. I want Danny to tell me about why he's on Eagles +3. Is it just because they're so damn hard to kill?
Eagles have beat every good in the last 5 games. They've beat Buffalo, Kansas City, Dallas, and Miami. They're just crushing everybody, and they got lucky to get a lot of these games at home. The only one on the road was Kansas City, and they still won that one. It's another home game against a good team. Yeah, I think they're going to win here, and I think they're going to cover the 3.
Okay.
Because most games,
this is going to be a really good game. I got to tell my wife that I'm not available as of 4, really at all on Sunday.
Yeah. Tell her to watch the kids.
So just to point it out, as far as the power rankings, this is number 1 versus number 2. The Eagles have yet to lose at home. They haven't lost at home, but they are in that 5-game win streak that Al
They're
just
due. Time to bet red.
I don't know if I would go 49ers as a number 2 on the power rankings. I think I might put Baltimore in there.
Yeah, I was a little shocked. Baltimore's number 3, which is shocking to me. I might put Baltimore, but Eagles are 1, Niners are 2, and yeah.
It's hard not to have the Eagles at 1.
Yeah.
The margins are so thin for NFL power ratings too, right? Like if you look at Sager, and San Francisco is 0.04 points better than Philadelphia, and that's on a neutral field. So the number makes. Oh, actually, San Francisco is the favorite here, huh?
Yeah.
On a neutral field.
Interesting. Yeah, that's on a neutral field.
Yeah,
okay.
But Eagles are at home.
I'm just saying, like,
and the line's 3.
Like the number is so tight, right? And power ratings in the NFL.
Yeah.
So if home field's worth 3 points, you would expect the line to be 2.5, so 3's value.
Yeah, I think home field is more like 2.5.
Oh, thanks, Al.
It says.
Thanks for your thoughts.
Well, no, I think they like that's what people have said since they made. I don't know if it's the 2-point conversion rule change or just the way that like road teams are more successful lately. But I think they've said home field advantage is more like 2.5 points than 3.
I think home field advantage has to be bigger in college, right? I think people use 3, and I don't think that's enough. I think it has to be like 4 or 4.5, because college, there's a lot of dumb false starts that happen. Not even false starts, delay of games and things like that. Like teams go on the road.
Yeah.
On the NFL, I think 2.5 is probably like right on.
All right, so the other 4:00 game that we haven't touched on yet is the Cleveland Browns and the LA Rams. I am the only one with a play here, so I'll make it short and sweet. I'm taking Cleveland plus 3.5. I really like Cleveland with the hook here. LA is not an intimidating place to play. Cleveland has had a couple of lackluster outings, but that defense is really good. I think they keep this one competitive and hopefully cover the 3.5. So that leaves us with Sunday night and Monday night, and these are another pair of really good primetime games. So props to the NFL for giving us some really good primetime games this week. That was Thursday night being Seattle, Dallas, and then Sunday night we have Kansas City and Green Bay, and then on Monday it's the Bengals and the Jags, which might not be as good a game now, but it definitely understand why that one was put on the schedule. Healthy Joe Burrow with the Bengals would have been a really good matchup to see in Jacksonville here against Trevor Lawrence. It looks like Matt is the only play on the Chiefs-Packers game. What are you going with here, Matty?
Yeah, this is a weird one. I'm going to take the 6 points with Green Bay. It feels like too many points. This year, Kansas City's been very odd because their defense is playing really well, like really, really well, far better than anyone has expected. And their offense is fine. You still have plenty of weapons, but there's more a reflection of Green Bay kind of coming online a little bit more. Jordan Love has looked more natural in his role as he's developed a little bit more. Green Bay looks better in general than I had expected at this point of the year. I don't think they win. Their defense is good. And Jordan Love is developing, and I'm still going to be doubtful on Kansas City's receivers on the road. So take the 6.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I think Kansas City is pretty mid on offense, to be honest. I think Mahomes is doing way more to keep that offense afloat than, I think any other quarterback. This is a bottom 10, bottom 5 offense. But Mahomes keeps this thing a little above average.
Pacheco's played really well for them too. Pacheco's been the rare bright star on that offense. Kelsey, of course, too.
Yeah, but I think Kelsey's been like a no-show for like 3 or 4 weeks now. I think teams have figured out that they don't have the talent to make up for it. They can double team, they can bracket Kelsey the entire game and essentially play a man down, and the Chiefs aren't going to have someone that can consistently make plays for them.
Yeah.
So
they just have to throw pebbles at him.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
It's a Taylor Swift song joke because he's Romeo.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, they should do that.
No,
Just jokes you have to explain.
no. I don't know Taylor that well, to be honest.
Yeah, but
You
I
don't
do
know the
think
song
that
"Love Story," Matt?
I do, but I just
he
didn't.
was Romeo, I was throwing pebbles. I didn't like really realize that's what the words were until you just said it or something.
My daddy said, "Stay away from Juliet."
Juliet. I do know the song. I just didn't
Yeah.
think about it that much.
Yeah. that
Yeah,
game's
so Green
also-
Bay +6, I like that a lot. I
It's
might end up
also a
betting.
cold game outside at night.
All right, look, I'll give you the weather while we go. To the
I think
next
it's
game.
35 degrees.
You
It's
got
gonna be cold.
a lake effect coming in on off Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
While we're waiting on the weather report for Green Bay, let me tell you what Andy's doing in the Monday night game. He is teasing the Jags down from -8.5 to -2.5. That feels like a really good play too. I like that. I think of all Andy's teasers this week, I really like I really like all of them. He's on 3. Tennessee, the Jets, and the Jags. So I would go ahead and play those if I was you, listener. Matt, how are we looking at the weather?
So the weather in Lambeau looks like a balmy 31 degrees, 2 mile an hour winds coming off the lake. Looks like scoring, boys. Looks like scoring's gonna happen.
If it rained, that would be the worst. Like that, like freezing point rain where it's like not. It's such a, oh, it's the worst. But it sounds like clear skies in Green Bay. Full eyes, clear hearts. What did they say?
So Monday Night Football.
Full hearts, clear eyes, can't lose. Yep. Bengals, Jags. I am taking Bengals +8.5. And then, like I said, Andy's teasing the Jags down. Matt, looks like you're doing that as well, right?
Yeah, I'm partnering this with my Jets teaser, a +8.5. Look, Cincinnati's fine, but until they get Joe Burrow back, I don't want to see Browning anymore. That's enough. Like I'm gonna tune out Cincinnati. I will root for the Jags. The Jags look like a serious contender this year. What are they, 8-3? They have a good spot, a good opportunity to get that number 1 spot in the AFC. So, yeah, I feel like the Jags will win by a field goal, but I don't know if they'll win by 8.5.
This is going to be one of the
And then
rare
Danny?
closeouts where the chat is better than the podcast.
Hard disagree. What are you on, Danny, for this one?
The under. I think that the Bengals are having trouble scoring without Burrow, and the Jags.
Actually, what's the total in this Chiefs game? We said earlier that you should be betting Sunday night and Monday night unders, and then here we are. Danny gave you 1. So whatever the under is, whatever the total is.
It looks like it is currently 42.5.
Oh, that's kind of low, right? I'm
Yeah,
gonna do it.
I kind of like
Under
it.
42.5 in Kansas City, Green Bay. Add that one on, and then I'll tail Danny on this Monday night one. If anyone's gonna cool these totals, it's gonna be me.
So
Come on
the
in.
reason I didn't do the 42.5, even though Kansas City's defense is what's been better, is because basically the way Green Bay played against the Lions, and I feel like both those teams could have 20 in this game. So
yeah, Green Bay.
That's
came out
why.
with
That's
a
why I
game
skipped that
plan.
under. Go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
Green Bay came out with a game plan against the Lions that the Lions were not ready. They were the Walking Dead out there. You know, like Wednesday night, the night before Thanksgiving, is like the biggest drinking holiday of the year, and it looked like it was the biggest drinking holiday of the year for Campbell Lunch. But
yeah, I knew he was going for it on that fake punt in our own end. I was like, oh, don't do it, and then he did it, and I was like, God damn it. But you know, sometimes you just get snowballed and you end up in a 20-point hole, and then you just don't have enough to. All right, so that wraps it up for this week. Let's make some chuggy bets, boys. Who
I'll
wants to
chug a
go
beer.
first? All right, Danny, make a
oh
pick.
yeah, Chris, drink there for me, buddy.
My chuggy bet is going to be the. I guess I'll go If I do the Monday night under, I won't know if it hit probably when we record. So I'll go Thursday night. No, I'm gonna go the Carolina Panthers Tampa Bay under.
Okay. Matt, what's yours?
Arizona plus 5.5 going into Pittsburgh.
I like it. Sunshine. Matt, how about Matt? You pick Andy's while Sunshine makes his chuggy bet.
Okay. Let's see. What would Andy like to do? I think Andy under 40. I don't know. Pittsburgh, Arizona. I'm trying to think what.
I will go with. There's a lot of plays I like. I think I'm gonna take.
Sorry, give Andy the Denver plus 3.5 because that's his only actual spread pick because he's a fucking cheater.
No, he's on the Eagles too.
Okay, I didn't see that one.
I'm doing
Because he's also on the over in that game, so it's like
Sunshine. You said you're doing Denver.
I'm doing Denver.
Okay, then we'll give Andy the Eagles then. Or do you think he likes the over better? He doesn't strike me as an over guy.
That's too many points.
It's too many points.
Yeah, so Andy's taking the Eagles plus 3. Sunshine's on Denver plus 3.5. Danny's on the Panthers Bucks under 37. Matt's on Arizona plus 5.5. And I will do the Broncos Texans over 47.5. That'll be my play. And then to recap,
high NFL total for this season, bud.
Yeah, it's okay. I think it's gonna be a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
To recap Andy's teasers, he's taking Tennessee, teasing them down up from +2 to +8, teasing the Jets from +2.5 to +8.5, and then teasing the Jags down from -8.5 to -2.5. And then Matt is doing the same thing with the Jags and the Jets.
You got it.
Perfect.
You got it, buddy.
Cool. Well, thanks everybody for listening. As always, we're really good at this. Follow our picks, make a lot of money. Send us a few bucks if you win a lot, and leave us a review. And that's it.
Go support Harry Craddock Jr.
Yeah.
Go support Harry Craddock Jr. He's back.
And check out that Cher Christmas album.
Joey, pretty much everybody, all of us are on the Jets this week. So good night, Joey. We actually like your team.
Good night,
Matt. Good night, Lee. Good night, Stu. Good night.
Good night.
Anyone else? Peace.
I can't stop ChatGPT.
It's so good. You need to stop recording.
A football Christmas song.
Still recording.
Or just read the Christmas songs out.
I really can't stay, but baby, it's game night. I've got to go away, but baby, it's fourth and tight. That's ChatGPT. Don't kill me. The field is calling. Beautiful passes are soaring. So what's the use in stalling? The crowd is roaring. There's so many.
It's so bad. I love it.
No, the 12 Days of Christmas was killing me. I was doing this. Oh, we're still recording.
Yeah, you gotta
cut this out.
No, it's gotta stay.
The Lombardi Trophy, a gift so divine, passes through the ages, symbol to shine on this holiday gridiron where heroes are made, legends and carols in a festive parade. I have like sonnets. I have limericks written.
Yeah, this one came out sounding like the Beastie Boys. Rumpa-pum-pum on the gridiron, so bold. Our little drummer boy in a jersey of gold. Rumpa-pum-pum with every kick and throw. In the NFL, our passions will grow.
I like that one. That's a good one.
It was Little Drummer Boy tune, but I don't know how you got to Beastie Boys.
I saw because it sounds like it.
Bum.
You could hear it. You could tell.
No, as soon as you said it, I read it just like it, and I was like, yeah, I get it.
Hark how the helmet's sweet anthems they sing in the NFL where legends take wing. Quarterbacks tapping like bells in the air, caroling triumph with each touchdown flare.
And that's been putting these in the chat to distract us the entire entire fucking pod, and it's made it difficult. I gotta say.
I win.
On the fifth
I
day
win.
of football, my true love said to me, 5 golden rings of the Super Bowl. 4 receivers catching 3, linemen blocking 2, QBs throwing, and a pigskin under the tree.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Are we still
No,
going?
you have
Matt,
to end.
You are in
What?
charge of the recording. You keep this going.